Hey, very good evening to you, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the Kuwait Pilot channel. It is 1700 Zulu, 2000 hours at local time here in Kuwait City, Kuwait. Today, we are going to be taking a look at the new improvements that iFly has integrated into their study level 737 MAX 8. In my opinion, this is probably one of the best airliners developed for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 and 2020 for that matter. So today we are going to be taking a look primarily at the EFB, which they have revamped. The aircraft, when it was released, has received glowing reviews, but just about everyone that has done a review of this aircraft has spoken about the complexity of the EFB, and of course, it came under heavy criticism that the EFB does not integrate with SimBrief, and this didn't sit well with a lot of the community, both content creators and the casual simmers. So today we are going to get a chance to take a look at this aircraft, and we're going to be doing so in a flight from Mexico to the United States. And specifically, we are going to be taking this flight today from Monterrey, Mexico, from the Escobedo International Airport, Mike Yankee. And we're going to be heading to George Bush International Airport in Houston, an airport that I have personally been to in real life, and we are using some really nice scenery and map enhancement as well to increase the level of immersion during our flight. Want to welcome Flybride. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here. And we have Manvar 1907, sorry about that, from India. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. And we have Flybride from the US of A. So that the briefing is out of the way, we can now start taking a look at the aircraft. Now, the first thing you'll notice, what is this snipping tool thing? No, we don't need that. Thank you very much. Okay. So the first thing you will notice in this version is the visual enhancement. So the aircraft now, the texturing, it was superb, but it looks absolutely gorgeous. So they've really outdone themselves, the guys over at iFly, in every respect when it comes to the visuals. As you can see here, beautiful, beautiful cockpit that looks very realistic. Very sharp textures. This is 8K textures, by the way, and everything looks, very, very detailed and pretty sharp, including the passenger cabin here. We can take a look. Very nicely done, very nicely modeled. They really have done a great job with modeling this aircraft, both inside and out. So let's take a quick look here at the aircraft from the outside. As you can see here, it looks really, really good. The texturing is quite detailed, and I really, really like this aircraft a lot. It is actually one of my favorite aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim because of the high fidelity of both the textures and the depth of system simulation. The only complaint that I personally had about this aircraft was the EFB. And this version brings a lot of improvements in terms of the performance as well. So this really is one of the best airliners that you can buy today for Microsoft Flight Sim. I recommend it right off the bat, guys. Just really an amazing, amazing experience flying the iFly 737. So the biggest change has been this electronic flight bag right here. So let me just come in here, and you can see again the thumbprints here, which is always something I really like. Those little details are really, really nice. So if we click here now, you'll have a completely reworked electronic flight bag with performance, Navigraph integration. You can customize your plane, lots of settings to choose from, and you have failures. You've got the doors as well. You've got payload and balance manual, and it's got cabin voices as well. And this is something that we will be taking a look at throughout the course of this flight. Hopefully the sounds will be at a proper volume so that we can hear them. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to come to the weight, payload, and balance here. As a matter of fact, let me go back and go to Navigraph. And now it's saying it's initializing the authentication. And now, as you can see here, we can just import the SimBrief flight plan. So if I click here, it will automatically import the full plan. We are departing today from Mike Yankee to Kilo India Alpha Hotel. And, you just need to put in your SimBrief ID and it will just work, which is pretty cool. Right. So now that we have the Navigraph set up and we fetched our flight plan, we can go to the weight and balance. And now we can say read from, and now we can read from either Microsoft Flight Sim, so from the Sim or from the SimBrief operational flight plan. So we're going to click here, operate, and now we can click here to load the aircraft. We're just going to choose immediately. And now it's loaded the aircraft. And now we have the option of sending all the data to the CDU. We will do that a little later during our flight. Other things you'll find here is all of the customization that was really, really cryptic in the previous version is laid out intuitively here under My Plane. This is much, much easier in terms of the actual navigation of the menus and the actual display of the different options. So I really like what they've done here. This is much, much better. I mean, just the difference is day and night between what they used to have in this aircraft and what they have today. And of course, you have the settings menu here for some general settings here as well. You've got the failure system here, which is quite extensive. So you can set all these failures, you can clear them. Maybe we'll do something during our flight today. And of course, you have the ground services, which now has been revamped completely. I really like it because now it is visual. Visual is the way to go. You can simply connect, like we click here, and now you have the ground power unit connected to the aircraft. So if I go to the outside, and let's see here, if I can go up here and show you, you'll have the ground power unit connected, as you can see here. Yeah, you have it there, and you've got the little plug coming in and connecting to the aircraft. This is a GSX, so we'll not worry about that. But this is the ground power unit for the aircraft. So I really, really like the changes that they've done here. I think this was something that they've been working on for quite some time. And I think it's definitely, definitely worth the wait. So let's stop blabbing and let's start getting a very good evening to you, Owen. Welcome, my friend. Glad to have you here with us during this live stream. Okay, so first thing first, we're going to come here. We're going to turn on the battery switch on, and we're going to come and turn the left aft fuel pump on as well. And let's just make sure that everything, we have the equipment, the circuit breakers are all in, so we're good there. And the fuel switches are both in cutoff. The landing gear is down, so all is good. I do have a tendency to click on these by mistake because they've used the mouse wheel for this. So, but not a big deal. Okay. That's not what we wanted to do. Okay. So very quickly here, we're going to come over to the overhead panel and let's see, what do we want to do? Again, yeah, when I move the mouse, it kind of just, we have the ground power. So let's turn that on. And we're going to come down here. Everything here is good. Circuit breakers, maybe we'll bring the lights a little bit, brighten up the cockpit a little bit. There we go. That's good. That we can leave alone. Emergency lights are armed. Fasten seat belts to auto. And let's see here. We're going to turn on the window heat. On. Pitos can stay for later. And we can turn on the hydraulics. There we go. And we can test the cockpit voice recorder. Make sure it's okay. And then we're going to move over here to the Tremere is already on. We're going to leave the engine bleeds off. And we're going to turn on the APU bleed on. Let's take a quick note of our altitude. So we're going to come here just to set this up while we're at it. So 36,000 feet today for the flight. So 36,000 is now set. Perfect. So all is good here. And we can now go and set the position light to steady. And everything here is good on the overhead panel. Look at this cockpit. Very, very nice. Very nicely done, really, by iFly. Okay, so we can now start programming the FMC. But first, let's bring up GSX, and we're going to request boarding. So let's say request boarding. Okay. Not sure what happened here. There we go. Okay, perfect. There we go. Looks like the GSX is not exactly where it should be. So attach, no.
You want to board crew?
We're going to say both.
Crew bus is coming.
Okay. So the crew bus is coming, and then we have to, looks like, I think it was set to auto, but I think the, all right, so now we can hear the passenger announcement.
Please take care that any baggage does not fall out. Please keep the
And if we go to my plane, let's see here, general. Ah, you get the music too. I hope this is not copyrighted music. Otherwise, you know, we're getting in trouble. But yeah, so let's go ahead and start setting up the FMC. Okay, so we're going to come here. I'm not sure if the doors will open automatically, but we can always go back here. And we're going to go to ground services, and let's see here. Doors should be somewhere here. Service door. Chocks, ground power. Yeah, no, the doors aren't here. Maybe we use the forward stairs. Not really sure. Ah! It did open the doors automatically. Very, very cool. All right, so here are the cabin crew here boarding the plane. Looks really nice, I have to say. And we also have the baggage getting loaded into the aircraft as well. All right, perfect. So everything is happening there. Let's come down here and set up the FMC. So we're going to go to FMC. One thing we forgot to do is we need to set the alignment here. So very quickly, let's come and test the Mach airspeed and the cockpit voice recorder. Works fine. Stall warning test 1. Stall warning test 2. Service interphone is on. And we're going to set this to nav. Now, there we go. Perfect. That works, and then we can now start setting up the MCDU.
Bus is coming.
All right, let's see if we can. There we go. All right, so we're going to position in it. We are at Mike, Yankee, and we select that. Go to the next page. Copy the GPS position. Go to the previous page. Excellent. And I'm not sure if chat is quiet today, or I'm having an issue on my side. All right, so we have this set up here. Yeah, it looks like chat is quiet. Okay, so the chat is quiet today. All right. Okay, so let's go to the route. Now, here's the thing. Now you can see that you have the flight plan request. So if we click here and just give it a little time, it will load up the flight from your SimBrief plan. And then we can also send the, there we go. So now you can see we have the Route 1 uplink is ready. And we're going to click here to load it. And it works just exactly as it should. We are United Airlines Flight 1853 service from Monterey to George Bush International. We're going to say activate and execute. Next, we're going to go to the departure. Now, for some reason, the scenery I'm using seems to be dated because there is no runway 12. There is only runway 11 on this scenery. So let's come over here. We're going to remove that here for a sec. And let's take the MTYA. Let's see if we get that. MTYA, that's the one. And runway 12. But in the actual scenery, we only have runway 11 for some reason. So we're going to execute that. And we're going to go to back to the index. We're going to go to the arrival. And the arrival is going to be through the H-Town, Houston Town 3 and 08 right. Okay. So H-Town 3. And it's going to be the Yeehaw transition. And then it's going to be the ILS 08 right, which is this one here.
Good morning.
Now we've got lots of transitions there. So let's go to 08 right, approach, 08 right, ILS or localizer. And if we look here, we'll have there's the Totoro Lassie. All right, so what do we have here? We have the Lassie transition, which is this one here, which makes sense for the direction of travel. So we're going to execute that. And now if we go to the legs page, you'll see that we do have one disco. Oops, let's erase that. All right, so let's select Lassie and put it there. And now we can cycle through. So let's step through. This looks okay to me.
Good morning.
Let me
Hello.
go up here a little bit and increase the range a little bit. There we go.
Welcome on board. Good morning.
Okay. So if we go back to the legs page, so this is going to be our departure. And let's step through, step through, step through. And this is Yeehaw. And then step through. And there we go. That's the arrival into 08 right. There we go. Right there. And it looks like a straight in arrival at George Bush International. Okay, perfect. So all is good here. So the legs page are fine. And we can now move on. Let's go to RTE. We're going to go to perf init. And now what you can do is you can simply go to, let me head back over here, and we can go to the weight and balance, since we already have the aircraft loaded, and say send to CDU. And it says send to CDU successfully. So if you look back here now, you should have all the information. You have your gross weight, the zero fuel weight, and we only have to put in the rest of the information, which is the reserves. And the reserves is the final reserves with the alternate. So 3 plus 2, that's about 5. So that's 5 tons. And then the cruise winds is 180,007. So that's 180,007. And the ESA deviation is 13. That's positive 13. So we are going to enter that there. It computes everything. Transition altitude 18,500. We're going to execute that. Go to the limit. We're actually going to derate the takeoff and the climb. We're going to go to takeoff, select flaps 5 for the departure, and we're going to enter the information here. Now for the CG, we have 5.69 on the trim, and I've set it so that it automatically sets the wheel trim for us. So now everything here is set. The pre-flight is complete. And we can go back to the legs page. And we can now start firing up the APU. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to cancel master caution. And we can come here and turn on the APU. There we go. APU is now starting. Really, really nice aircraft. Looks so nice. All right, let's go back here to map. Looks like we do have alignment. We're going to put the weather on the captain's side and terrain on the first officer's side. Yeah, it's a brand new update and it's just really, really good. Really good one. Really good one. They've really done an incredible job here with updating this aircraft. Service Pack 1 works really, really well. Right, so rejected takeoff here. That is set. Let's set up the next FMC unit. We are going to put this on VNAV.
The cabin door is about to be closed.
All right, cabin door is about to close. And it looks like the APU still not available. So we'll just give it a little bit more time. There we go. APU is there. And the buses are now on the APU. We have the APU bleed working. And everything here is ready for us to go. Let's turn on the yaw damper. Right, so they're arming the doors now. Let's take a quick look here at the outside. And it looks like all is good here. We can disconnect the GPU. By the way, this aircraft has really, really nice sounds. Okay, so we're going to come back here now that we have the APU running, and we can simply come to the ground services, and we can disconnect the GPU. Right, so all is good here, and we are ready to go.
Please observe the cabin crew member closest to you as we're about to demonstrate the safety features of
All right, so they're doing the safety features. Let's see if the sound actually changes in the cockpit. No, it does not. Okay, so you only hear it's in the...
If I could have your attention for a moment,
All right.
I'd like to point out
So
the
all is good here. We are ready to go. We're going to turn on our fuel pumps. And we're going to turn on the beacon light. So anti-collision light is on. And now we can go to GSX. And we're going to say prepare for pushback and departure.
2 forward exit doors, 4 overwing wind.
Right, there we go.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
You can see the stairs. Very nice animations there from GSX. And things have really improved in GSX as well since the latest update. Works really... Hello, Johnny C172. Welcome aboard.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Very, very cool. And you get to see the beacon light properly. That's a big thing in MSFS. All right, here's the tow truck.
Locking gear.
All right, locking gear.
To inflate the vest. To manually inflate, blow into the tube at your shoulder. Your
Okay,
vest has
so
a
let's set things up here real quick. We are going to set the altitude to 36,000 feet, which is our final cruise altitude for the flight today. 36.
Flight attendants are now checking that your seatbelt is fastened.
Right, 36. And the speed, let's just very quickly get our speed N1 limit and take off 143, so 153. 153.
Smoking is not allowed.
Right, 153. All right, we're going to do nose to the right. No, we're going to do nose to the left. There we go.
Parking brake. Please.
Okay, parking brake. We need to press the pedals.
Is also prohibited.
There we go.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at wing.
Regulations require
All right, and we have clearance to start our engines, ladies and gents. So let's go to ground.
records and crew member instructions, including
And we can see that the engines are spooling now.
If needed, oxygen masks will drop from a compartment.
Very nice looking aircraft. Beautiful. They've really done a very, very good job with this aircraft, I have to say.
Continue wearing the mask until otherwise notified by a crew member. If you're traveling with children,
Looks like we have some pockets of bad weather.
put on your mask.
All right, let's set the
first.
parking brake.
Please remove any
Parking brake set.
Confirmation for
All right, and let's go ahead and give it
Thank you
fuel.
for your attention. Now, sit
And
back,
let's switch to the
relax, and
outside.
enjoy the flight.
Wow. Those engine sounds are really, really nice. Hello there, Timmy. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us this evening. Very, very nice engine sounds there on startup. All right, let's go ahead and start the engine number 1. Engine number 1 is now spooling. All right, we'll wait for it to finish motoring. And we're going to turn on the flight director on both sides. Perfect. We're going to set the heading to runway heading, which is 120. 120 is set. All right, and we can give it fuel now. And let's switch to the outside. Oh, yeah.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Wow, the engine sounds are just amazing. Those are Boris quality sounds. They're the best 737 MAX sounds. Indeed. Gamer Guy, welcome aboard. All right, there we go. Wow, look at the animation there. FS Dream Team has really done a remarkable job with GSX. I really wish that they would create something for X-Plane of this same fidelity, because I think it really is very, very well done. I don't think that that's going to happen, but it would be really, really cool to you know, to get something like that for X-Plane. All right, pins are removed, and we'll just wait for the wave off there, and we'll be good to go. Excellent. All right, that's the wave off. All right, thank you very much for your service. We are going to turn on the taxi lights. Engine start switches to continuous. Gen 1, Gen 2, APU off. And we're going to turn on the engine bleeds, APU bleed off, packs to auto, isolation valve to auto. And we have now everything ready to go. Let's turn on the probe heat. Probe heat is on, and the aircraft is fully configured for departure. Let's set flaps 5. I know I have one of those views set. There we go. Very nice. Very nice animations, very nice sounds. All in all, this aircraft is just really a very, very authentic rendition of the 737 MAX, and I love the details in this aircraft. I still need to figure out my views properly, but it is really a very well-made aircraft for Microsoft Flight Sim. Right, parking brake released, and off we go, folks. This is, by the way, the scenery of Monterey here in Mexico. MMMY is a freeware scenery. And that's why it's probably very dated. The George Bush International, though, at Houston is that of FS Dream Team, which we're going to be flying into today. And that is a payware airport and probably one of the best I've seen of Houston. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, please double check that your seatbelt.
Right, you can hear the passenger announcements there in the back.
Reading light, press the button above you with the figure of a light bulb on it.
All right, here's our departure runway. Now, I know it says here 11, but it's actually 12 in real life. But it looks like that this is a bit dated, which is okay. All right, let's bring the aircraft to a... All right, so we are ready here. So we're going to turn on the lights and strobes. We're going to turn on the auto throttle. And we are now ready to go, folks. All right, let's go. Let's start our clock here. And we're also going to come down here and set TCAS, if I can remember what it is. Okay, let's take a look here. TCAS, come on, where are you? That's the ADF. Where? There it is. Okay, perfect. All right, we're all good to go. Wow, look at this aircraft, guys. Look at the lights. Yeah. Very, very nice. Look at the strobes. Look at the wing flex. This is a must-buy for Microsoft Flight Sim. In fact, one of the reasons I fly in Microsoft Flight Sim is this aircraft. Alongside the Phoenix and the Flyby A380. Those are just amazing aircraft. I actually like this aircraft a lot more than the PMDG aircraft, to be completely frank with you guys. All right, so we are ready to go here, and this is our toga switch. So let's go ahead and take it to 40%. Release and toga. Check out those sounds. Right, maintain the center line here. Looking good. Very smooth. V1 and rotate. Positive rate, gears going up. That is very, very cool. All right. Right, flaps up. Okay, VNAV. LNAV and Command A. Wow, look at that, guys. That is very, very immersive, and I tell you, MSFS is starting to look really, really good. Especially with map enhancement. I totally agree with you because I purchased Real Ops and I can't get it to connect to SimBrief. I'm XP lane person. Aeromexico livery is nicer. Yes, indeed. It is nicer, I have to say. But, yeah, I think I have it. I think I've downloaded the Aeromexico livery. But this is still very nice. Yeah. The cloud smoothing in Microsoft Flight Sim is really, really good. There we go. We are now flying above the clouds. The clouds, though, in Microsoft Flight Sim sometimes look really nice and sometimes look very, very bad. Today, I think they look pretty okay, don't they? Right, so 8,000 or 9,000. Right, and as soon as we hit 9,000, we can turn off the lights. Right, there we go, close enough. Landing lights off. Runway turn off lights off. Engine start switches to off position. And everything else here is looking good. Perfect. Wow, look at that, guys. Look at those clouds. Very nice indeed. All right, we'll adjust the range. Let's put the vertical profile there. Again, for situational awareness, comes in very, very useful. I see they updated the EFB. Yes, that's exactly why I actually made this this live stream, is to showcase the EFB, which is now great. Full integration of SimBrief, you've got failures, and it's just really intuitive. And this is something, you know, very important, guys. And I think I really have a lot of respect for developers that take community feedback and then improve their products. They don't just, you know, develop something and leave it to rot. You know, this is where sometimes, you know, you feel that, you know, you don't really get, you know, your investment's worth. There are many developers. You've got the weather radar as well. It looks really, really nice. Very, very cool. And we've got the terrain radar here. Let me increase the range here a little bit so we can see the terrain as well. There you go. You can see the terrain radar works well. You can see the weather works well. This is really an incredible add-on, guys. I highly recommend the iFly 737. It is really by far one of the best airliners alongside. It sits right, you know, next to the Phoenix and the, you know, AnyBuilds, PMDGs of the world. I just think that this is slightly better than PMDG, and in terms of performance, much better than AnyBuilds, which seem to, you know, develop aircraft that are, you know, very resource hungry. I understand because of the system simulation, but then, you know, we have someone here, so we do have, you know, iFly. It's developed a very sophisticated aircraft, but actually is not, you know, very resource intensive, so it works really, really well. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Let's go back here, and we're approaching the transition altitude, 8,500. Also, this does not cost a cup of coffee for an upgrade. Yeah, it was actually a free upgrade, so that was really, really commendable from iFly, because this is a major rework of their electronic flight bag. So, all right, here we go. Standard barrow set and cross-checked. Okay, all good here. And we continue the climb now to 36,000 feet. Rondoza would never... Q8, why do you like the iFly more than the PMDG? Okay, so first of all, I think in terms of the visuals, I think it's a whole lot better than PMDG, to be completely honest. I think they took their time in developing this aircraft, and it looks fantastic. So that's one reason. The second is this aircraft is very unique to hand fly. So it's not like PMDG. It's a little bit different. And I feel that this one it's more immersive to fly than the PMDG aircraft. I like the layout of their electronic flight bag, again, more than PMDG, to be honest. Yeah, I do like it a lot more. The visuals, maybe the immersion, the overall immersion is much better on the iFly 737, in my opinion. I think they've just put in a lot more effort into making the aircraft look more realistic and more authentic. Agreed. They textures on PMGD of Xbox users. Well, see, look, you have to also understand the economy of these businesses. So I don't know how big is the iFly team compared to PMDG, but PMDG, I would suppose that maybe they're a bigger team and maybe they have bigger bills to pay. So, I mean, that plays a lot, by the way, into the economy of software development for flight sim. This is a very, very niche market, guys. And so when the developers charge for an upgrade, in my view, at least the way I see it, is if this upgrade is substantial and it really is not just, you know, an upgrade of the textures and the name of the aircraft, like, for example, you know, some of the developers would, you know, just put in a few upgrades, they're minor upgrades, and then they call it, instead of, for example, let's say Q8 plane, instead of Q8 plane, it becomes Q8 plane Pro, right? And just for adding that Pro, they charge you 15 or 20, you know, or 25 or even $30 for that upgrade. And just say that this is a brand new version and, you know, they charge you for it. Now that, in my opinion, is a ripoff, and it does not sit well with me at all. But I tell you, if the guys over at iFly had imposed a $5 upgrade fee, for example, for Service Pack 1, and called this, you know, a reworked aircraft and charged $5, you know, I would have swallowed that happily just to support the developers. So I really have a lot of respect for developers in this community, guys, in this industry, flight sim industry, because it's very niche. And so the developers will have to depend on the volume of sales, right? So for example, yeah, exactly. Real life jet fuel won't pay for itself. Thank you very much. Yeah. So I wouldn't really go very hard on developers that charge for, you know, a new version of the plane for, let me rephrase. I wouldn't go hard on developers when they charge a fee for an aircraft for a new version of the sim. Why? Because what you actually see in this sim, you'd think immediately, well, you know, the cost isn't justified. It's just the same plane. It's the same thing. But in fact, there's a lot that goes into the background, the actual code that is written in order to make the aircraft work with, you know, the new sim. See, the flight simulator franchises, whether it's Laminar or Microsoft Flight Sim, those guys don't really pay too much attention to, you know, what makes it hard for the developer to continue development. They are worried more about developing their product and making it the best out there. Now, maybe they do work with the developers, but in the end, they're going to make changes, and those changes in a lot of cases are breaking changes. And so the developers will very quickly have to go back to the drawing board and say, oh, so now all of these things that used to work perfectly will no longer work because of the, new version of the simulator. This is something we've seen with X-Plane, we've seen with Microsoft Flight Sim, we've seen with P3D in the past. So this is a reality, guys, and those developers have bills to pay, especially those who are dedicated, to development. So this is their actual bread and butter. So, yeah, I've seen some very nasty comments, directed towards PMDG, but I do understand, where they're coming from. Maybe not every time. So maybe, when they charge, for every single version of the plane for different sims, maybe they need to consider also that, we have invested with them, several times in many aircraft. And so maybe they can think more of the loyalty program at PMDG, and that maybe can ease off a little bit of the, of the frustration, that a lot of the flight sim community has with PMDG. But in the end, they're a business, guys, and they got to pay for their bills and pay salaries to the developers who are working on developing these add-ons. Me too, but PMDG don't help themselves. That I will have to agree with in a lot of respects. They have us them versus relationship with loyal customers. Yeah. So we are approaching our top of climb, as you can see here, and probably not a bad idea to add in the let's see here. Not a bad idea to add a fix for our arrival, which is going to be 08 right. So I believe we can put 08 right in here, and it works like it should. And then we're just going to give it a 10 nautical mile radius just for situational awareness. And we'll go back to the legs page here. Perfect. And you can see the vertical profile. We're almost at top of descent, about 3,000 feet to top of descent. Let's just make sure that, yeah, we've said that correctly. Perfect. Let's switch to the outside here a little bit. And there you can see, again, beautiful flying over Mexico. Always a pleasure. And we're using, of course, map enhancement, which has been working very, very well, I think, for Microsoft Flight Sim. By the way, we're flying at maximum settings, so everything is pretty much maxed out. The only thing that I've turned off is the traffic that comes with Microsoft Flight Sim, the default, but everything else is pretty much maxed out. So this is Microsoft Flight Sim totally and completely maxed out. Anything on the EFB to fiddle with? Yes, as a matter of fact, there is. So let me come here. All right. So first of all, you'll see that you have the failures. So in here, you can set up, all sorts of failures. You can go, for example, to the ice and rain, engine cal, to SOV stuck, closed, auto flight. You can fail the FCC, auto throttle fail, electrical power failures, fire protection, engine fire, APU fire, all sorts of things here that you can set. You can clear the failures, obviously, or you can select a random failure, which is pretty cool, I think, for an extra challenge. Also, if you have the aircraft manuals, I think this is how all aircraft should ship. The manual should be available through the EFB. And you have all the information here that you've got like some 34 pages there. So you can just simply cycle through here if you want and read through I really like this because in a lot of the before I actually do review videos and when I'm learning an aircraft, I normally like open the PDF and then I keep switching back between the PDF and the plane. But this really gives you a very nice way of looking at the aircraft manuals there, and you can zoom in, zoom out, use your mouse to move it along. You can save and load here, so you can set your default. You can have all your flight plans, by the way, here, but you can also set the panel configurations here very easily before engine starts, so on and so forth. Maybe we can see on ground power, cold and dark here, so we can set this to default. There we go. We don't want to load it, obviously, but this is now the default state, and we can just say save. And it wants to put us in. We'll just leave it for now. I don't want to mess up things here. Then also the nice things that you can do is you can go to the cabin voices, and this is says enable autoplay mode. So in this setting, in this mode, what happens is that all of these announcements will be played automatically depending on the stage of the flight. You can turn this off so that you can click on them and listen to them if you like. And you can also increase the volume, so we can increase the volume there. So we're going to increase the volume a little bit so maybe we can hear it a little better. There, that's the boarding music. And of course from Navigraph also you can, aside from the fact that you can import your SimBrief flight plan and send the plan directly to the FMC without reading it from the FMC. There is also all your terminal charts here, very, very nicely done by iFly, the way they integrated the Navigraph charts. And there is your operational flight plan, and again, very nice. You can just simply click here and jump to the various parts of the flight plan. So very, very, very well developed electronic flight bag. I think it works really well, and it's a huge improvement over the previous version of the aircraft. And Service Pack 1, by the way, brings in a lot of fixes, improvements, as well to the visuals, both inside and out. So this is a completely reworked plane, if you ask me. But probably the most notable feature is the electronic flight bag. By the way, this aircraft has full CPDLC support as well. So if you want to try ACARS, it fully supports it, works very, very well. I tested it with the Say Intentions, and it seems to work very well. Does it have state load? I don't know. Let's see. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't think it has. No, it doesn't seem like it's got a, a situation. I don't think it's got that feature, but yeah. Okay, so we are at 36,000 feet and about 133 nautical miles before top of descent. So very short flight today. Let's do that here. We can see that's top of descent right there. You can see the weather radar working pretty well. Yeah, very, very nice indeed. Nice contrails as well. The Mark Rich. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us this evening. Look at that, guys. I mean, they really nailed this aircraft. It looks exactly like the, in terms of authenticity, it is a definite match to the real aircraft in terms of the dimensions. It's built to scale without a doubt. Very cool. Here we can go to the passenger cabin as well. Let's explore it a little bit. And again, you can see here that the visuals are done very, very well. Not sure these are non-interactive. But yeah, you've got the door here. Looks pretty good. And the cabin, the lights as well. Everything looks really nice. This is a one class 200 passenger aircraft. So very nice passenger cabin. Does it work? Ooh, look at that. Pretty cool, huh? Huh. That's cool. All right, let's see if we can open the tray. No, the tray doesn't seem to open. But the overhead compartments do work, which is always a cool thing. And so, yeah, we'll do a quick tour here of the passenger cabin. I know that you can play with the windshield there. Let's see here. Yeah, there you go. You can open and close that. Look at this. Wow. Very nice. Again, you can see all the details there. The lights, you know, very nicely done. The texturing is done very, very nicely on the aircraft. Overall, just really an all-around, you know, A-plus aircraft by iFly. I don't think that they've developed anything other than this one. The cargo guy, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us, my friend. Welcome. Yeah, so we've got the, looks like the lavatory works. Aha! It does work. And you can flush the toilet, looks like. I can't hear anything, but it works. Huh. Yeah. Nice sounds as well. Very, very, very nice aircraft overall. Does this work? Ah, you can actually turn on the emergency exit lights here. Aha! And you can also play with this. Look at that. We can change the lights here. So we are in cruise. So we'll set that to cruise. And zone control. You can set it the way you want. So white brights, white medium, or you can turn it off. Environment. You can set the vacuum waste. Okay, is empty. Potable water is full. And we can go, oh, wants us to put a code. All right, so that doesn't do anything right now. But this is really cool. You can actually, you know, change the lights here for takeoff, landing, and you can turn them off and manipulate the forward entry area as well here from the general lighting options there from which normally cabin crew takes care of it. So yeah, it's a pretty cool aircraft really, and one that I highly recommend. Very, very nice aircraft, very well developed by iFly. Okay, so here we are going to be needing the ILS. So we're going to come here to this page here, and we're going to note the ILS for 08 right at Houston, 109.7, 109.70, and first let me, all right, so 109.70, and the mode is island. Oh, come on. 109.70, there we go, and we'll set that as the active. And let's change the mode here. Supports GLS as well. 109.7. And we set that as the active. The approach course is 87. All right, so we're going to come here and set this to 87. Right, and we'll do the same thing here on the first officer's side. And by the way, you can use your left and right mouse buttons here to set this. So hold and press the mouse button. Press and hold the mouse button in either. So if you click the right mouse button and hold it, it will turn clockwise, and if you click on the left mouse button, it will turn counterclockwise, which is, again, from usability perspective, I think is a very, very intelligent thing to do. It makes just working with all the controls in the aircraft just a tad easier. Okay, so all's good. By the way, we do have the heads-up display, but I don't think that I have it enabled for this aircraft. So I just downloaded this. In real life, this United aircraft does not have the electronic, the heads-up display. So that's why you don't see it here. But it is available if you want. What do we? That's just that. Okay. Right, so we've been flying for about 29 minutes since we started the clock. Again, you have all the flight information here. United Airlines, 1853, transponder 1200, which is, by the way, not correct for this flight. So we can just put 2000, that's fine, as an IFR flight. And yeah, all is good here. What's vacuum waste? My guess is as good as yours. Will it go up if we keep flushing? I don't know. Hello, Q8. Apologies for joining the stream late. Oh, no need to apologize, my friend. Just glad to have you here. I just have a quick question. Does the GSS integration function in the iFly same manner as the Phoenix, just as automatic ground services? I did not see that the ground services are automatic. We can check maybe here in the settings. But I know that once you call for boarding, it will automatically open the doors, bring everything, and when you turn on your beacon light, it will automatically, dismiss everything. But we can come here. I don't think this is here. Maybe it's under my aircraft. So let's go to my plane. And let's see, maybe under miscellaneous, cabin options, accelerate mode, time compression. It's good that we have time compression. It doesn't seem like, it doesn't seem like it's got the automatic GSX. Maybe it's here somewhere. No, it's, let's see. Let me scroll down here to see. No, I don't think it's got that. Runway awareness, other systems. Yeah, these are only just aircraft systems here. There we go. Beacon light, slow, fast. You can even adjust the hydraulic type, which, by the way, I'm because it looks like this is the just fluid type. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it's got. And by the way, you can change the display units here. So all of this is fully customizable, as you can see. But I don't think that there's anything for GSX. If you go here to ground services, as a matter of fact, it's got its own tow truck. So you can actually select here straight line distance, degrees, and then you can say the kind of push that you want. And it's got all of the different, all of these, by the way, once we're on the ground, all of these elements can be dispatched to the aircraft. And it's got some really cool maintenance features as well, as you can see here. So we've got wastewater, portable water. You can bring all of these, other systems. What do we have here? So oxygen, battery, brake temp, extinguishers, IDGs. Is closed. It's got a dome. Oh, maybe we'll try to open it once we are at our destination. So yeah, it's really done very, very well. I really like what they've done here. All right, well, if we look here, we are 51 nautical miles from top of descent. So we need our platform altitude for Houston. So let's take a quick look here at 08 right. That's 08 right. We have everything here set correctly. And the final platform altitude is 2,000 feet. So let's go ahead and set this to 2,000. And there we go. 2,000 feet is set. And we'll begin shortly. It looks like the weather is really bad today, isn't it? Look at that. Guys, look at map enhancement. Wow, looks fantastic. I mean, this scene right here looks very, very immersive. Very realistic. Very cool. I think this is the best MSFS has looked since the launch of 2024. And I am using the latest NVIDIA driver. Give us a flyby. We're sure. There you go. Very, very cool. Yeah, let's switch to cinematics here a little bit. And this will cycle through the different views. Very, very well developed aircraft by iFly, and it definitely receives my highest commendations and recommendations. If you fly in Microsoft Flight Sim, this aircraft will definitely bring a lot of joy to your flying experience in this sim. So highly, highly recommend it, guys. Definitely worth the money. Definitely worth the money. Like I said, even if they would have charged like, $5 for this service pack, I would have thought that it would have been, a justifiable, charge, just considering the amount of work that went into this electronic like that. I missed the chase plane animations, yeah. Ooh, look at this view, guys. That is absolutely gorgeous. Alrighty. Let's take a quick look here at things in the cockpit and how... Ooh. Thank you very much, Owen, coming in with $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. It's going very well now. Hello, Captain Ray. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us this evening. I hope you are well, my friend. I need to figure out why the super chat is giving those really strange sounds. I have configured so that it sounds like a ding-dong from the cockpit, but yeah, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, Owen. That's very, very kind of you, sir. All right, so 23 nautical miles before top of descent, so we're almost there now. And I wonder what's the weather like in Houston these days. Is it hot and humid? If there's anyone in the region there can maybe let us know. The weather has been getting hotter and hotter here in Kuwait. And yeah, it's being in the outside after 10 o'clock is just unbearable. And the sun starts going down, it feels a little bit better, but still very, very hot. It is extremely hot. It's been 40 degrees C in the UK. Yeah, I heard. No AC. Yeah, I heard, because my folks, my mom and dad, own an estate in the Canary Wharf area, and they told me they just did not want to leave the house at all. Because of the heat. So this year, though, it feels as if it's kind of gone longer than usual. So in previous years, I know we've had heat waves in the UK. I travel there. My family travels there every single summer, sometimes twice a year, during Christmas time and during the summer. I don't go as much as they do, but I know that there is like a few days where you get a heat wave, but then things subside. But nowadays it's kind of more frequent, isn't it? I remember when I was young, 35C is high temp, and the news will report that now it's the average temperature is 38. I'm in Asia, by the way. Oh, I see. yeah, the Kuwait remains to be one of the, if not the hottest spot on Earth. It is extremely hot here, but I will have to say this: although it is hot, the way things are set up for that kind of weather. So you don't really have to suffer from the heat unless you're walking outside. So if you have if you work on an external side, then yeah, I mean it's going to get to you. But most of the indoor places in Kuwait are have air conditioning, and it is actually so cold when you walk into mall in Kuwait. The houses have also air conditioning units, and they're not split units. They're actually huge units. It's a central air conditioning system that we have here in the houses. So yeah, it's not a big deal if you're inside the house, or if you're in the car, or you're at the office, or at the mall. It works just fine. But it's designed for, exactly. All right, so folks, we are at the top of descent mark. The aircraft, as you can see now, has begun the automatic descent. It has retarded the throttle, and we have begun the initial descent towards Houston in the state of Texas. And this aircraft works exactly as it should. So VNAV, LNAV calculations work very well. So far, so good. Everything is working exactly as we expect it to. And
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be landing soon. Please fasten your seatbelt, return your seat back, and table to the upright position. And
we'll
make sure
just
the window
have to
shade
wait
is
and see
open.
now the
All electronic
remainder of the flight,
devices must now be
and
switched off.
where
For your safety, please make
where's this
sure
going
all
to
of
take
your
us
carry-on luggage
in
is in the
terms of
overhead compartment or under the seat
the
in
top
front
of
you.
descent. We
Do
just
not
want to
open
I
the
want to
overhead
make sure
compartment doors during landing
that
and
it
taxiing.
does the proper
We will
calculation,
dim the
which
cabin
so
lights
far it
shortly.
seems that
Please
it
turn on
is.
your reading light if
So
you
far, we
desire to
haven't had
begin.
any issues with this aircraft in terms of the climb, the cruise, the descent. So far, everything's been working really, really well. Very optimized as well in terms of performance. So it works really, really well here. The weather radar works fine. The terrain radar works fine. Everything works exactly as it should. We're going to set the auto brake to 2 here for our arrival today into Houston. And we should be making it shortly. We've been flying for about 39 minutes now since takeoff, and we should be making it shortly into our destination. How are things with you and your over there these days? When I watch the news, I always wonder if you and your family are okay. Well, my friend, we are okay, thank God, and I really thank God for that. The situation here has been worse. It's improved slightly, but every time there is an attack, we definitely lose sleep over it. Unfortunately, in many of the occasions, there were also human fatalities, which is very sad to see. I think last week, I'm not sure which day it was, I think Wednesday or Thursday, I literally jumped out of my sleep because of the missiles intercepting those drones, and the noise. Those ballistic missiles, when they're intercepted, the noise is enormous, guys. It really is scary, I have to say. So yeah, we've had a lot of that. I am a little bit more at ease now because most of my family is traveling. So I'm not as concerned. It's only me here now. But yeah, they're all. My daughter is studying over in New Zealand, so she's out there. She's in fact now crossing the sea, just passing Indonesia right now. I was checking her flight over flight radar. And my wife and son are in the UK. So I'm here with my other daughter. So, but things are okay. So things are okay. It's not as bad as it was, you know, during the war. It has subsided now. But yeah, I really hope that things end up peacefully and that things do not escalate. Many of you probably know that I am a man of peace, and I do not like wars. I do not like warfare. I don't even like it in games, so I don't like to play war games or things like that. Or so, yeah. Unfortunately, this is something that I have, or no one here has control over. So we just pray that you know, we are safe, that our loved ones are safe, and that everything, you know, de-escalates and ends peacefully. I'm over in Canada. My heart goes out to my friend. Well, thank you very much, TriStar, my friend. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Owen. I really appreciate it. Thank you, LJP. Thank you very much, guys. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you for keeping me in mind. I really appreciate that. One other thing I noticed, so, you know, when you go to the supermarket now, is a lot of the, you know, brand names that, you know, we're so used to buying are no longer there. So, yeah, definitely some things are, you know, it's starting to take its toll, I think, on everyone and everything. So, fingers crossed and prayers, and we hope that everything just goes well. Here is a flyby as we make the turn here with this beautiful United livery as we fly over U.S., now heading over to Houston, Texas. And just look at that, ladies and gents. Just really beautiful, beautiful map enhancement. Much, much better than the actual Microsoft Flight Sim Bing maps. I think this looks far more realistic and more up to date, I think. Map enhancement is actually one of the good investments that I've made as far as, you know, add-ons go. And I have both versions for X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Sim. Vice the Ling asks, where are you from, Q8? Well, Q8 stands for Kuwait. And that's exactly where I'm from. I'm from Kuwait. Right, 23. So let's grab the altimeter real quick. So we're going to go to the weather. Let's check the weather. Ooh. We have lots of clouds as we arrive, but the visibility is not bad. 10 nautical miles. 40 at 8 for the wind, so that's okay. And the altimeter is 3009er. Okay, so 300. All right, let's set things up here. It says drag required, so let's do that. Okay, and we're gonna go 30 and 147. So we're going to add that there. That's for the wing correction. Everything here is set. Perfect. And let's see. All right. So we can bring back the... Right. We can bring that back. Perfect. And we are almost there now, folks. Some really pockets of bad weather here throughout the flight. Let's bring the range. All right, we'll zoom in here a little bit. I have been map enhancement for XP. Yeah, that's That's very highly recommended. Highly recommended, guys. Both for X-Plane and for Microsoft Flight Sim. I mean, here, look at this. I mean, the Bing maps look terrible. And this looks really good. In anywhere you look, you know, you'll just find some very nice and very realistic textures there, as you can see. I noticed that one thing when in Microsoft Flight Sim, the quality of the maps are better. I really am not sure why, but in X-Plane sometimes I get a lot of anomalies in terms of, you know, you get like a map here and then, you know, the map right next to it, like one region, but you'll have one section all photoreal, but one section doesn't look like anything like the section that's right next to it. So I do get that a lot with X-Plane, but not with Microsoft Flight Sim. I don't know why, but yeah, that's the case. Right, so all's looking good here, 3009er. So we're going to go to 3009er. There we go. And we're going to cross-check 3009er. Perfect. All's good here. We're almost there. Let's give it some drag here, just to keep our speed down. I think default MSFS sat image is good enough, especially regions they feature in world updates. Yes, I agree with you to use Google or Apple Maps. In this video, I'm using the Google Maps. So here, let me just very quickly here. So we're using Google Maps 1 and 2. They are good enough in the areas of the world where they have, I agree with you. But if you want to fly anywhere outside of that, then, you know, it's really bad. So map enhancement definitely is a solution that gives you a lot more immersion. And then, of course, I also remember that I always like to support the developers. So I purchased both versions. You could do without the MSFS version, but just to kind of encourage the developer to continue updates on this add-on, I decided to purchase the one for MSFS as well. The clouds are looking really nice today in Microsoft Flight Sim. Yeah. There, let's take a quick look here. I mean, those are really sexy clouds. And we are almost there. Okay, let me bring this back. And we're going to arm the speed brakes. We're looking good. So one of the things I feel that I need to be doing a little bit more of is tutorials for MSFS. I don't think that I've done a tutorial for Microsoft Flight Sim in a very long time. And quite frankly, you know, and maybe I should, because there are a few things that I've discovered myself that makes the sim works a lot smoother and can really harness the power of your PC. But I just, in all honesty, guys, I haven't been really feeling that much motivated when it comes to Microsoft Flight Sim. I really don't know why, but I just, you know, every time I, you know, turn on Microsoft Flight Sim to do something, I say, you know what? No, I don't feel like really flying in Microsoft. And then I go and, you know, fire up X-Plane. So, yeah, I think I just really need to do that, though, because I think there are a lot of things that I can probably share with you guys, and a lot of you would probably benefit from it as well. So, yeah, hopefully we can do that. All right, why is it... Maybe we should have introduced the drag a bit earlier, but that's all right. We're approaching 10,000 feet. We should be at 250 knots. So, right, 10,000. Landing lights are on. Runway turn-off lights are on. And let's see. This is so. Let's turn that on. Alright, it's finally pitching up a little bit to slow down. That's our 10 nautical mile. If I turn this off, this is our 10 nautical mile radius, so I think we're doing fine. We just need to slow down a little bit, which I think we're doing right now. Look at this view, guys. Wow, this is really, really nice. So do you guys want us to record the landing? Bit of a tailwind, yeah. So if you guys like, we can definitely do a recording of the landing. Yes, please. Okay, so I think we can come here. Let me just make sure. Let's see. FCR. Okay, so it's there. Fine. Okay, so we'll do it just right before the arrival. And we continue now to descend. And we are very close now. Speed brake extended. Ah, okay. Right, speed brake is armed. Auto brake is set. And everything's looking good. Perfect. Remained, I wonder if it's because of QNH remained at 3009 instead of QNE 29902. No, so we've passed the transition altitude, and 3009 is the barrow. So if you come here, you'll find 3009. That's the altimeter right now at Houston. So yeah, if you click standard, then it turns to 29902. I thought it should do that close to... no, the transition altitude in the United States is 18,000 feet. So you need to do it at the transition altitude. Right, we're definitely slowing down. So the aircraft management of the altitude and speed so far has been, you know, pretty spot on. Right, let's go to the next page, except that we needed to be at 250 knots below 10,000. Ooh, is that a lightning? Wow. Right, looks like there's a restriction here. Yeah, that's definitely a lightning right there. Is it really raining in Houston right now? I mean, I don't know, but that's what it sounds like. All right, so we should be out of the restriction in about 5 nautical miles. Wow, this is looking like it's going to be a really involved approach into Houston. Yeah, the seatbelt signs are already on. You can do a quick check here if you want. No smoking and fasten seatbelt signs are on. And for the final approach, we're going to also put the engine mode selector to continuous. Lights are on, runway turn-off lights are on, speed brake is armed, and here we are making our turn towards Houston, Texas, and specifically George Bush International Airport. Very, very nice. All right. And let's see here. We should clear the 7,000 feet in a minute here. Let's see how it works, because there are a few restrictions. So let's see how the aircraft actually manages those restrictions now. Wow, did you guys see that? Got lightning today. It's looking really, really good. All right, let's see here. 7. We should begin the descent shortly. There we go. So that's exactly what we expect. And the aircraft is definitely respecting the restrictions. All right, there we go. That's the decel mark right there. All right, and right here we're going to go to approach. We're going to start reducing our speed. There we go. 185, 180. All right, let's just put... There we go. All right, speed check. Laps 5. We've captured the localizer. Glide slope is active. The final speed is going to be, let's take a quick look here, 147. The speed is set. Hello there, K Rock 24. Welcome aboard. Just in time for the landing, my friend. Wow, looks really a very nice approach today into George Bush International. Those really beautiful clouds. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. We're looking good, folks. I still don't see the runway, though. So visibility is about 10 nautical miles, so right, we're approaching the 10 nautical mile ring now, and the airport is just right ahead of us. Hey, Rand Cooley's in the house, and we have also Fly Lilo. How are you doing, my friend? The Aviation Gamer, hello, my friend. All right, we're almost there now, folks. 3,000, we're looking good. Here's the 10 nautical mile ring, so we are exactly 10 nautical miles now from the... Oof, the lightning
Cabin
seems...
crew, seats for landing.
Oh, did you hear that? It says cabin crew seats for landing. So again, automated cabin crew announcements, which is very, very cool, very immersive. So that is working very, very well right now. Right, we're looking good. Let's go ahead and go to the reference speed, which is 147. There we go. And we're going to select gear down.
2,500.
And we're going to go to flaps 15. Looking good. Let's go ahead and before I forget, let's look on FCR. We're going to click record. and record. All right, we'll put that here in the top corner. Okay, and laps 30. I think I can see the runway now. Wow, look at that. Just gorgeous, isn't it? There's slight crosswind, as you can see here. Right, we're looking good. At 1,000 feet, we will disconnect the autopilot and auto throttle and hand fly the aircraft. You can see the traffic here. This is actually a really nice approach into Jordan. Oh, Rand Coolidge is coming in with 5 Q8 pilot gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Rand. Really appreciate that, my friend. Very, very kind of you, sir. Guys, make sure that you thank Rand for if you've received a gifted membership from him. Thank you very much again, Rand. That's very, very kind of you, sir. I appreciate it. All right, we are almost there now. 1,000 feet.
1,000.
All right, there we go. Autopilot off. Auto throttle off. My aircraft. Oof, did you guys see that?
Approaching 08 right.
Wow, what a beautiful approach. Guys, look at the airport. Wow, the scenery is amazing.
400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
And reverse. Ladies and gents, welcome to Houston, Texas.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your safety, please remain seated and keep your seatbelt
And there's the
fastened.
cabin announcement
Thank you for
again.
your cooperation.
Wow, very nice.
For your safety, please keep your seatbelt fastened and mobile phone powered off until the seatbelt sign is off.
All right, let's exit the runway and let's take a quick look at our where's the terminal there. Okay, so let's go to we're gonna stop the recording and we're gonna click
On
play.
taxiway. On taxiway.
Okay, let's put this away here. Maybe we'll go a little bit right here. There.
1,000.
All right, that's exactly when we disconnected the autopilot. Wow, look at that, guys. Is that cool or what? Wow. Very, very nice indeed. Here we go. Wow, that's very cool, guys. All right, let's just go a little bit more. There we go. Play that. That was pretty cool, I have to say. All right. Thank you, the Aviation Gamer. Appreciate it. Question, do you recommend the 737 Classic? Rand, are you referring to the XEG 737 Classic? Take control. Okay. So we're going to turn off the landing lights. Runway turn off lights are off. Taxi on. Those can go off. Then we can... That goes off. Right, I think we can go somewhere there and bring the aircraft to a stop. We need to start the APU though. So let's start the APU. Very beautiful rendition of George Bush International by FS Dream Team. Alright, let's retract the flaps. Very, very nice rendition of George Bush. Really highly recommended by FS Dream Team. Very nice. There we go. Let's line it up properly here. Not sure why this is not working. All right, there we go. Parking brake is set. And the APU is available. APU bleed on. Engine bleeds off.
Flight attendants, disarm and cross-check cabin doors.
Very cool. All right, so everything here is off. Taxi lights off. And let's see here. All right, so the APU is on. And what we can do now is turn off the beacon light. So strobe and empty collision off. Okay, and now we can go to back to GSX and request deboarding.
Boarding requested.
And we're going to select, why is it to Swissport? Okay, well, that's fine. There we go. Very, very cool. Again, automatic door opening there. And you get all the ground elements coming to the aircraft to begin the deboarding process. And there you have it,
Passengers,
ladies
the
and
boarding
gents. Sport expanding, yeah. So there you have it, ladies and gents. The iFly 737 MAX Service Pack 1 update. This update, in my opinion, really brings this aircraft to the next level. I think the new EFB is a definite game changer for the iFly 737 and for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 for that matter. The aircraft really performs very well. It is highly optimized for performance, though I have to say that the visuals are absolutely stunning. Even with that, I think this aircraft performs much better than the Inibuild's aircraft or even PMDG in terms of the FPS. The electronic flight bag now has all the features that we as simmers require in order to operate the aircraft with ease. And it even has gotten a complete custom failure module that allows you to initiate random events to really put your skills to the test. Overall, I was very, very pleased with this update, which comes, by the way, absolutely free of charge. And a big thank you to all of you guys who've been with me during this live stream. And of course, I want to thank the developers over at the iFly team for their hard work bringing Service Pack 1 update to the community. If you are looking for the recommendation or the seal of approval, this aircraft receives my highest commendations and the Q8 pilot seal of approval. I probably give this aircraft an 8.5 out of 10, just to kind of, push the developers to, improve it a little bit more. So I want to thank you again, guys, for being here. It's been real. It's been a lot of fun. I hope that you've enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other. I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, and bye-bye for now.